Well, that was a fun build. I really enjoyed that. And I did come back to the model table last night. And I did something that I had talked about doing, I think even before I got this electric drill. Now, these little blue pieces here, we're going to keep them because I think they will look nice in the sprue pan if I ever do it. And I'm thinking that these orange pieces, they may look nice too. As long as we don't bury the color in with some sort of whatever I'm going to use as you might say, a carrier. Alright, so now we got blue and gray and orange. Oh, one of the viewers mentioned, why don't you cut up some of your leftover photo etch and mix that in with it too. And I know people are thinking, well, you can't turn a pen that has metal. Well, you can with the photo etch because it's so incredibly soft. It will have very little dulling effect on the tool that I'm using to turn down the pen. And when I say turning a pen, it'd be like this one here from Tennessee Jim's that I turned. That sort of thing. I've done this before, but I don't think I have ever mixed pieces of plastic or anything like that in with the acrylic that the two-part acrylic that I mix up. Okay, now you may notice it sounds slightly different from yesterday. Well, I'm going to roll the clock back and you're going to find out why. Now, can we make it run slower? Well, it only has one gear ratio, so the only way we can make it run slower is to slow the little motor down. And as I mentioned, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago already, I think if I was to reduce the voltage from 3 volts to 1.5, that would slow it down. So that's the plan. Okay, we're going to do everything in 1/1000th of an inch here. And it looks like 554 thousandths. Okay, now how many of you thought that I was going to short this brand new battery out? Come on, admit it. Okay, we got 1.988 thousandths of an inch, plus the thickness of the paper. But we'll call it let's call it 1.987. Now I realize that I did not say that properly. I should have said 1987 thousandths of an inch. Now, a few moments ago, I was down in my workshop, and it had been my intention to find an old bolt, 5/8 inch diameter bolt, and I was going to turn it down to within a thousandth of an inch of dead on. And I can actually do that. I've got a fairly nice metal lathe for a home shop, let's put it that way. And I think that's pretty close. Maybe just a little bit more here. Okay, there, we got it at the right length. The diameter is probably going to be close enough to work. Anyway, bottom line is, I thought, heck with this, I just don't feel like it. You know, 10 years ago, that's the kind of stuff I would have done, but anyway, we got the length the same. Alright, let's try this out and see if it's going to work. Okay, now I haven't tried this yet, so you're going to be seeing it along with me for the first time. And I do believe that this nut is large enough that it's not going to fall down and go up against that little piece of metal that goes like this when we pull the trigger. So let's just see what's going to happen here. I might have to adjust it. I don't want to spring anything. Oh no, that seems about right. Okay, now all being well, when we squeeze the trigger here, it should run slower. Let's just see. Oh, I guess I was pushing in on this locking thing a little bit here. Okay, we can compare now. We'll just go by the sound. We'll just toggle back and forth between the two different sounds, and oh yeah, you can see that's turning a lot faster than if you were to use a pin vise, that's for sure. And yet it's going to be slow enough that it's not going to all of a sudden get away on you, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's just leave that in there, and we'll give it a try. Now our sunrise on this rather cloudy pizza day morning. I don't think it's going to be too spectacular. If it is, I'll put it at the end of today's video. If it isn't, well, that's the way it goes. There is something there. It's just starting to come up over the railing now. Okay, let's put our little drill to practical use. Now remember, we bought these special drill bits. And also, you remember this one here? One of the little 4 holes wasn't, it would look like it was keyed. At least it gave that illusion that it was keyed, and I concluded that it just wasn't drilled out all the way. Well, let's, just for the fun of it, see if we can drill it out to the same size as the other 3. Oh, and this label that says electric handy drill, I don't think we need that. You can put it on if you're making one, but I don't want it. Yeah, all right, let's recompose here. Okay, I guess the first order of business here is, will this chuck fit these bits? Or will these bits fit into this chuck? And today being pizza day, and being as it's a beautiful day outside, the kids are having a great time. Okay, I'll just recompose. Oh, I'm noticing there's something, looks like something printed on the shaft there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, there is something printed on there. We'll put the macro lens on afterwards and have a look. But first, let's see if this is going to fit. Somebody said it does, but it's a tight fit. Tight is right. Well, let's have a look at the, take this off and just see, oh yeah, I think we can make it go. Well, I guess I have to do it the other way, don't we? I don't know, maybe I'll cut that out. That was really stupid. Okay. Maybe I'll put a little bit more force on it if I go like this. Yeah, there we go. That is a tight fit. Well, is it going to run true now? I don't know. If it doesn't feel like I got it in very far. No, you can see it's not straight. Oh, one of the kids set off the car alarm. Okay, it appears that there's something been laser etched on there. I don't think the small number is of importance, but the larger number, it looks like U1, and then would that be 1.20? Maybe that's what it stands for. U1, maybe is 1.20 millimeters? Let's measure it and find out. Okay, it looks to me like it's 1.14. That's pretty close to 1.2, isn't it? 14 to 20, it's not a huge difference. It could be that where the cutting end is, that's what it is. Let's just check and see. No. It's getting smaller, actually. Oh. Okay. Alright, enough time wasted. Let's find one of these that's going to be a little bit more close to the hole that's in the boat. Okay, I can see just by eyeballing it that the smallest one, in other words the pink one, is way too small. But let's just try the brown one here. I don't know what size that is, but we want it just to sort of... No, that's too small. Let's put that carefully back. Let's try the green one here, the light green. I don't know what the color that would be, lime maybe? No, that's too big. Okay, then the yellow one is probably going to be just right. Yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, let's put the yellow one in our new Tamiya drill and drill out this one right here. And it doesn't matter if we go all the way through, because it doesn't matter if the boat leaks. I don't think we're going to try and float it. Okay, I've done some experimenting here, and I've concluded that the best way to put these in, now I'm going to have to put up with the fact that it's not going to be precision. I can't get them in so that they don't kind of wobble, but because the wobble is so extremely slow, anyway, I found that if I back this off, I also found that I don't necessarily always have to use this because there's, like I mentioned yesterday, there's so much friction going on in the gear train trying to run it backwards to turn the motor at high speed that, I suppose every once in a while I'm going to need to lock that. But anyway, all right. So I've got this backed up so that the collet on the inside is loose. And then we just push it in, just not real tight because then it's hard to get out. Then maybe just tighten this up so that it doesn't rattle. But you're going to notice that there is a little bit of wobble, but I still think it's going to be very, very usable. Now, the thought had occurred to me, why don't I try and turn these shafts down just a little bit? But that's getting kind of silly. Anyway, here we go. All right, let's put the macro lens on and see if we can drill this out here. Okay, now, I think that if the bit was any smaller than this, if I had a small piece like this, I would have a tendency to want to bring the part to the bit and lay the drill on its side so that it was stationary. But I think that this is probably going to be, if I can stop shaking here, I think this is probably going to be strong enough of a bit that I don't need to worry about breaking it. Also, my drill press would work better than this, I think. Anyway. Well, it didn't take very much, did it? It didn't take very much at all. Where's my hobby knife here? Yeah. Well, there was just, you might say that was just a tiny little bit of flashing. I don't know if you remember, but I tried to pull that out before when we were talking about, is this keyed? Yeah, that's all it was just a little bit of flashing. So anyway, now I might have been able to use the bit that was just one size bigger, but maybe not. Anyway, this is enough experimenting around here. The drill works. No, there's no question about it. The drill works. Okay. So what is my opinion? I've only used it one time, so I can't really give an opinion yet. My opinion so far is, yeah, I think it's probably worth the money. But after I've used it for a month or two, I'm sure you will have heard, if I like it or not. Now maybe I shoved this in there a little bit too tight. No, I guess not. Anyway, I can see where I am going to have to be really careful when I'm handling these. That's kind of a nifty little case. I think I mentioned I've never seen a fastener like that before. Anyway, reminds me a little bit of those boxes that we used to get our slides in, remember? 40, 50 years ago, or even up to maybe 20 years ago when we stopped using slides. Remember, if you wanted really good color, you'd get slide film. Anyway, what do we got to do here? I was going to say we could see if we can get these little pieces glued on there, but you know what? I've got all the rest of these boats here that I have to get the flashing off of, and I think I should just go ahead and do that. Yeah, it is a beautiful day outside. You can't believe how beautiful it is. It's like a beautiful warm summer day. Now I know in some parts of the world it still is summer, but it'll only be I'm guessing 2 months from now I might be able to use my snowblower for real. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna work at this here. Okay, I put my macro lens back on because I want to show you something here. I hadn't spent too much time on these boats, and I came to boat number 14 here. And I nipped off the piece of sprue off of the back of the transom there, and you can see where I was starting to, sand it down, clean it up a little bit. And then I noticed these two little, what you might call two little bumps right there that I'm almost touching with the end of my nipper. And I was going to remove them, and then I realized, oh my goodness, no. That is part of the, you might say, it's like oar locks, only I believe it's for the rudder. Yeah, so we don't want to be taking those off. I just wanted to mention that in case there's anybody else going to be coming to these boats. This is not flashing. This has to stay there. Now, if you were to accidentally take them off, nobody would notice anyway. Now, speaking of time, do you know what time it is? Okay, this is going to be it for today. These are my croutons. I have been trying to keep it under 1,000 calories a day, but pizza day has always been especially hard. $999. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Seems to be my mother taught me that too. I'm probably a little better than halfway through the boats now. And when I got to this boat here, it's one of the medium-sized boats. Well, you can see I've got this little divot going on there. I wasn't being careful. Now, I was aware of the fact that the way the sprue was attached, that I was going to have to watch. And I guess I went at it a little bit too ferociously. And now this one here is okay. It's acceptable anyway. Let's see what it's going to look like if we put the insert in. Where's my tweezers? Okay. Yeah, that's going to show. But there's nothing I can do about it now. And it could be that, yeah, nothing I can do about it now. Okay. This is boat number 15. I believe it's the largest of the boats. I'm going to move in a little closer. I got some flashing on the rudder here. It is very, very delicate. I think I'm just going to leave it because I'm afraid I'm going to make things worse. I'll move in just a little bit closer here, and you'll see this, what you might call really delicate flashing going on. Now, I had just done a fantastic job of removing the flashing in question. It was all around the propeller shaft and along the inside of the rudder here and on the trailing edge of the rudder, and I did a pretty good job of getting it all off. And then I looked at my screen and I did not see my little red record button on. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell have to take my word for it. I did a great job. Okay, all our boats are trimmed now. I think we've had a fairly profitable day. We got to try out our drill. Works all right. I wish the chuck was a little bit bigger, but hey, yeah, we can make it work. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's 32.8 degrees Celsius in the shade. The sensor for that is in the shade right now. So we are having a most unusually warm, you might call it a fall day. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. And I am going to attach the sunrise to the end of this episode. It's nothing spectacular. Don't hold your breath for it. Feel free to press the stop button. Anyway, see you tomorrow.